Hi, everyone. It is so good to see you. Happy New Year. It's just some camera angles. It is so good to see you guys. Welcome. We are the K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Marisa, and you are part of the K3. Happy New Year. Thank you for taking this K-drama coffee break with us. And our Pepito, starting it off strong. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That is so awesome. It's so amazing to have this community another year to talk about K-dramas, right, Marisa?
That's right. And we promised that we would be bringing you lots of new stuff this year. And as our Pepito mentioned in their comment, yes, we have a podcast. We've revived it. But you didn't miss it. It is, we're recording them so that they are portable. They are there for you whenever you want them.
Yes. Anytime you want to hear our thoughts as we dive deeply into actors and finales. That's kind of the other part of that. It's going to be kind of a two-pronged thing. Our favorite actors and then our favorite, like some of the shows that we finish and we have more thoughts on them because, oh boy, Happy New Year, you guys. Oh my God, it's so exciting to see all of you guys. Nora Key, ABC123, K-Fitz, Christabel, Amanda. Oh my God, Gina. Oh my God, you guys, it's so good to see all of you out there. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Your skin does look great.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will now do my PPL. Yes.
Hey.
Did you guys, I mean, we're going to get there. Did you guys catch it in Bad and Crazy? I like barked out loud when she took it out of her purse and she was like, what is this? Who sent me a package? And she opens it up and it was it was so amazing. But thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, we're seeing a lot of familiar names in the comments here. Thank you for once again joining us and hanging out with us. I think we have one of the coolest communities out there talking K-dramas, which is fantastic. But if you're new, we're K-drama fans just like you. We are not experts. We just really, really enjoy them. And we'd like to talk about what we're loving, liking. We always have quibbles. And so that's always a good time. You can get it off your chest. You can talk with other people. Even if we're not watching it, there's always someone in our chat over here that is probably watching it, and you can make brand new K-drama friends. So it's so fun, right?
That's right. Nora, you're so sweet. It's good to see you here.
Yes, it is.
So yes.
All right, you guys, are we ready to get this party started? All right, excellent. Let's do it as we always do with Monday, Tuesday. Yay! Monday, Tuesday. You guys, I know this was we're just going to wrap this one up because it was one of my happy places this year, but Secret Royal Inspector and Joy wrapped up. Y'all, it was just so good. Oh, we need to change the color of that. I just realized that. But yeah, Secret Royal Inspector and Joy, you guys. Did you watch it anymore, Marisa, or did you not?
No, I didn't. I planned to over the holidays, but instead the last couple of weeks have been like my daughter is home. So we've just been rewatching like Marvel movies and Harry Potter movies. And
thank you, Marco.
Thanks, Marco. So yeah, my K-drama watching went down this week.
That's fantastic. That's so nice. Sounds like you guys, which one is your favorite Marvel?
Favorite? Oh, that's like asking what's my favorite K-drama. I don't have.
Okay, that's a good point. All right. No. I'm a Captain America Winter Soldier girl. Just FYI.
I
know.
I get that.
The Secret Royal Inspector and Joy, though, you guys. I loved it. By the time it was over, Spider-Man. Literally, you're so funny.
Okay, Marco.
Oh yeah, Marco's like, oh, Marvel, I'm in. Nice, Gina. You make your kids watch K-drama.
Gina,
because there are so many good ones, right? It's such a happy place watch. And by the time you get to the finale, like the women, I just love the women in this show. I love the Joy, stayed joyful and was like, I want to live a happy life. Because let's not kid ourselves. Like living back in the past, whether it's Chosun era or here in the States or wherever you live, like that was some rough living, y'all. And to actually make a stand that you want to live happily. I mean, it's kind of a more of a modern thing, but it was just so much fun to watch them not fall into the standard tropes of having to get married and just be happy for what you have. And our crew of 6 stayed together and like opened up their own little, like, and again, tiny house, like a little tiny house village with a psychic and a woman enjoy making clothes and apothecary. I can't say the word. What's the word? You're better at this than I am. Apothecary. And then the boys opened up a restaurant, and I just freaking loved it. So by the time it was over, and the best part, if you get a chance to, I'm sure it's all over YouTube or Instagram, but they also, what other show can be set in Chosun era and then spoof Squid Game? They played
Really?
red light, green light, and it was hilarious.
Oh my
So, yeah.
goodness.
So I really, really enjoyed. Did someone get shanked?
Beef shank,
What?
maybe, if they opened a restaurant.
Maybe, yeah, exactly, right? And I mean, it was laugh out loud funny for me. I know the humor didn't land for a lot of people, but I just found it to be delightful. Just delightful. Yes. Anyway.
Right, Mandy. It's definitely on the watch list. Oh yeah, romance. What is there a So not
yes,
really.
There actually is. There is Joy and our inspector, whose name I have forgotten, but it is Oktakyun. They actually end up. Yes, they end up together, and it was one of my favorite scenes. Is his grandmother catches them in his room.
Oh.
And it's hilarious. And it was very sweet. And they spotted the Squid Game, right? Oh, that's right. They also made the 2 p.m. reference. That was funny. I didn't catch it, but thank you, Vicky Subbers. They were like, this is a 2 p.m. song. And it was hilarious. So, yeah.
That's funny. This sounds like totally an enjoyable romp.
It was. And it was really kind of my happy place because a lot of everything else I'm watching is exhausting. So I was like, oh, God, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Marco? Right? So because let's not kid ourselves. We're getting to Red Sleeve, but oh boy, that one was a lot. There was a lot happening in that one. It was a lot. Anyway.
I mean, so that's the thing, right? I mean, there are these trends in K-dramas, and then all of a sudden, like everything's dark, and then this one comedy becomes this big bright spot for you. So yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. Like, it just made me happy. And so I've noticed that in my 2021 lists that we were putting together. Caitlin will have some blog posts out on that. But it was like, what was your favorite? I was like, oh, these all brought me joy. My top ones were the ones that did not cause me angst. Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Jeannie, you made it. Hello.
Hey, hello. It's so good to see you, Jeannie. Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so that was my love of Secret Royal Inspector. So that was a finale, but then we also had a premiere this week. We actually had 2 premieres. We still haven't gotten Tracer yet, which is really bumming me out. But
Dr. Chi, you're here too.
Oh, hello.
Lots of friends.
Hi, there you are. So many friends. This is so fantastic. But it is on. It's being distributed on Wave, which was also who distributed the Red Sleeve. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we get Tracer as well very soon. Maybe on video as a delay, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so. I was looking for it. I'm like, because I love Im Shi-won so much. I'm like, where is this show?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And unfortunately, it just hasn't gotten to us yet. But I'm hoping, because it is an NBC show and it's on Wave, and that's exactly what the Red Sleeve was, that maybe they're going to do just a delayed rollout of it. With that being said, I did watch the premiere of Ghost Doctor. Did you, Marisa?
Okay. I 10 minutes in, I turned it off. I couldn't. I don't know. Should I watch the whole thing? Who here watched it and enjoyed it? Because it was too. I couldn't even get to Kim Ki-bum. He wasn't even there yet, and I was already like, I'm over this. So I don't know.
Will say I did get through the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
And Kim Ki-bum actually saves it.
Okay.
But I'm not sure I'm going to go the distance. What did everybody else think?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Nora. It's the one with rain.
It is the one with rain.
Yeah.
Marco.
Yeah. Right. ABC 123. What'd you think?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Christabel enjoyed it. Okay, good. So,
yeah. I mean, it is formulaic to a fault almost, but I enjoy exactly. It did get. Who just said that? It got better towards the end. There we go. Amna. It did. Amna. It did. By the time I did actually hit play on episode 2. So clear, yes. I enjoy the mystical aspects of it. So there's that. I mean, you guys okay. So maybe I will try 3 and 4. I'll keep going. I am exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I'm having a hard time with his character overall. Let's see. What is his character's name? Let me pull.
Well, it seems a little split. So,
yeah.
Is his love interest the emergency room doctor, the young woman?
No.
Or no?
That's Kim Ki-bum's. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
His is Ui. I think that's her name. Am I pronouncing that right, you guys?
Oh, okay.
she's a doctor who they were interns together, and then she left to go to the States after she found her father or something like that, he's a chaebol who's now dying in the hospital, and now Rain and the father are both coma ghosts wandering the hospital together. So that kind of tells you where we're at with this show, you guys. I mean, I appreciate the ghost possession thing. I appreciate the mystical aspects of it because I enjoy that.
Dr. G, right? Yeah. Right? Life is mystical enough. Or is it? That. Maybe we could always use a little more. Yeah.
So, but I mean, you've got Sung Dong-il as one of the ghosts wandering the hospital. So, I mean, you've got some names there that I'm really enjoying. So, I'm finding yeah, exactly. ABC 1, 2, 3. I will wait before I completely drag it. Like, I'm kind of in that. Like, I could end up really liking it, but the first 2 episodes it was a clunky start. Let's put it that way. But I'm not officially out. I don't think.
Okay, Gina. Yeah, it's too much. So.
It's a lot. There's a lot. Like he's an intern who gets possessed by a doctor in the first scene so he can operate on a patient, and then becomes the greatest intern in the history of interns, and then becomes this snobby doctor, and then his new batch of interns comes in, and one of them is QUIBBLES, and then Nora, thank you so much. We're getting there.
Oh yes.
Oh sure.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And then QUIBBLES obviously is the chaebol. He's the heir to the hospital chairmanship. Oh, and Marisa, this is why I stuck it out. I just realized as I'm looking at the lineup, Tae-in-ho is the evil hospital chairman right now. So I was like,
again,
hello, evil chairman. I love you. Yeah.
Again though.
So I know. Yeah. I mean, he's very pigeonholed, but anyway. Yeah. All right, you guys. I think that's enough time on Ghost Doctor. We'll keep it going. We'll see what happens with that, and then we'll reconvene in 2 weeks and see where we land. How's that? I was so official sounding. I felt like I was the chairman. Suddenly, me and Tae-in-ho are having a meeting. It's great. All right, you guys. Wednesday, Thursday.
Kind of nothing happening.
Yeah, I don't have anything for Wednesday, Thursday.
Well, we have new shows that we haven't been able to get to yet, so or haven't been able to find. But since we have nothing on Wednesday and Thursday,
right?
You know how I said we've got good stuff coming up for you guys this year?
Tell us.
Please come back in 2 weeks, because our friends at Cocoa have partnered with us, the K3, to do a special giveaway for you guys. So all the details will be coming out very soon. So be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, but be sure to be here in 2 weeks because we will give you the full details. Cocoa. Yes.
Oh, a plug for Show Window. You're loving it. It's okay. Is that okay? Kind of writing that one down. I've watched you on Twitter, Caitlin, loving that one for sure.
It's a crazy mahjong. It's not exactly your genre, Jen. So I have not hit play on that yet. So I know some of you are like, because I was like, do you yell at the TV? And then some of our friends were like, no, you toss the TV, but Caitlin's loving it. So if you guys are watching it and you have thoughts, put them in the comment box, because I'm sure Caitlin would love to share her thoughts on this show.
Right? Absolutely. I think you guys have, over the years hanging out with us, have recognized Jen handles the Ghost Doctor mystical weirdness, and Marisa likes the mahjong.
Usually, but I haven't hit play. Actually, there are a bunch of shows that we're not watching. So if you guys want, like Our Beloved Summer, I tried and I couldn't get very far with that. But again, I know people are loving it. So if you have thoughts, put them in the chat, because you will find another K-drama BFF who is watching it with you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Moonshine.
I
didn't start that one either.
Moonshine, I think I put on the back burner just because I was a little bit, as much as I love historicals, I was a little historicaled out between, as much as I love Royal Secret Inspector,
Royal, yeah.
And then Red Sleeve. I was like, I can't do it.
Too much, yeah. Well, that's good that you're loving it, because maybe I'll put that on the list. I do but then that looks another kind of wackiness, Joseon-era. So
yeah.
Let us know what your thoughts are on that one.
Okay. Well, That's Wednesday, Thursday. That's exciting.
Yeah.
All right. And here's the big juggernaut, you guys. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as always. Whew. Always so packed. Always so packed. But this time we're doing something special because Marisa's in love with Singles Inferno.
Not a K-drama, but a reality show. It's top 10 global on Netflix. So there's something about it. And I think have you guys watched it? It's so addictive. There's only 8 episodes. You can totally binge it. But it's like Love Island. But unlike, American or British, do you call it a dating show? I can't remember what you call it. But there's like a sincerity to them. And because they're quite conservative over there, it's not oversexed and, over the top the way like The Bachelor, there isn't those kinds of overt manipulations in it. And why is everyone into Gia? Yeah, she's huge, right? She's a huge Instagram star. And I don't know, she knows how to talk to men to keep them engaged and interested in her. And I'm not going to give anything away because if you haven't seen it, it's a total ride. I cannot, you guys, it was just like, it's so addictive. It's so addictive. Yeah, DDuck8926. I don't usually watch Korean reality shows, but there was something about this. I think it's because there are moments where there were so many second lead syndrome things going on that it was really so like I was screaming and squealing at my television. It was hilarious. It was hilarious, right, Charlotte? Yeah, totally hooked. So, man. Yeah, you know what? ABC 123, they need that follow-up show because I think they shot it over the summer. So it's like about.
So it's done? It's finished?
It's finished, yeah. So there are a bunch of singles, like 5 men and 4 women on an isolated desert island with very little, still very lovely, these beautiful tents and stuff.
Sure.
But it's all about who, first attractions, chemistry, who do you like? They didn't do a lot of games imposed on them, but they've set it up as the island is the Inferno, and there's not a lot of food, and they've got to, there are some challenges. It's just a challenge to live there. But then based on these different matches, you could end up at paradise where they helicopter you off to this luxury hotel. In Incheon, like suites with a swimming pool, so it's all about the interplay between all of these singles, and it's just freaking fascinating. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, people are loving it. Like my Twitter feed was imploding last night with people discussing it. So I was really excited that Marisa was like, let's talk about it. I'm like, sure. Like, let's do it. Yeah. I have nothing to add. I know nothing. But it sounds like it's a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
Just real quick, I just threw out a poll out there because someone was asking if we're watching Snowdrop. We don't know. We can't get it here unless we have special hookups because Disney is not released to our region yet. So we just put out a poll to be like, hey, should we watch it when it does come out? What do you guys want to do about that? Because we unfortunately just don't have it. We don't have access to it.
Yeah, you have to use a VPN, and so it's a little tricky, not a lot, but yeah. Oh, Gina, right? So like. Gorgeous people.
Of course. Like, isn't that the number one qualification for any of these shows?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Yes.
Done. Oh my God, right?
Yeah. So are you ABC 123? Are you still watching Snowdrop? And do you want to discuss it? Like we haven't decided if how hard we're gonna work to find it.
Right, exactly. That pretty much is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Refusing to watch it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we are seeing it. Yeah. It's a dicey subject matter from what we have gathered by reading all this stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Caitlin. Okay. He comes in a little later in the show, and he's totally hot.
Right.
So yeah. Okay. You guys seem a little split on Snowdrop.
All right. Yeah. Maybe it becomes a finale type thing. Like if we end up watching it, we'll just kind of do a finale discussion on it. What do you think, Marisa?
Maybe that's the way to go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we will we will continue this conversation.
Yes. Yes.
But moving on, we're going to talk Bad and Crazy, you guys, because that one premiered over the holidays. Oh my God. Have we ever loved Lee Dong-wook more? He's amazing.
Amazing. And he's clearly having the best time. Like
the best time. So this one is he's kind of a corrupt police officer, and then he used to be dating Han Ji-yoon's character, who's another detective in a different department, and there's murder and there's chaos and there's payoffs and there's this whole thing, and then all of a sudden this mysterious character on a motorcycle in leather and a helmet is like dragging him places to like make amends. Like, what is happening? And thankfully they let us know within I think it was the first episode, at least maybe the second episode, that he has a split personality, and that's his better half trying to make him a superhero.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's pretty much the whole setup, right?
Right. But what more do you need? Wee Ha-jun also having the best time ever. It's so physical and it's so out of control, and it's hilarious. I'm loving it.
Yeah. I will say though, because we're already at episode 8, so we're already at the halfway turn by we're having this conversation. It took it was a lot of fun and wacky hijinks and the usual K-drama, chaos and violence and whatever. But it took a dark turn in episode 8, right?
Oh, I'm a little behind, so I did not watch. I did not watch this weekend shows. Really?
Dark turn. Yeah.
Okay.
Dark turn. Why he has a split personality and child abuse and children killing their abusive parents, and it took a dark turn, and I was like, oh goodness, let's see. And then they're using and people smarter than me who are watching this, are they using the term gaslighting correctly? I think they understand the concept of gaslighting, but they kept using it as it was interesting. I'm just curious. It just seemed out of place the way they kept using it. But I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I'm just throwing that out there. I was what was that? I don't think that word means what you think it means. I felt like that a few times when they used it. And I was like, contextually, I don't know if this is working, but okay, I understand the concept. So
I haven't come across that yet. And it looks like you guys are telling us it's 12 episodes, not 16. So yeah.
Right.
So we're
heading into the finale.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. So I'm a little behind. So I can't, I guess, I like dark. So, here we go. K-drama soup, gone from wacky, physical, out of control comedy to murder and children. Great.
Oh yeah. The story in episode 8 to help us get to Lee Dong-wook's character's trauma as a child is this girl that he thought he was helping but didn't help enough, then ends up continuing to be abused by her father, and then ends up killing him. And I'm like, oh, well, that took a dark turn.
Right.
And then
Caitlin.
right. Caitlin's like, I love it.
Yeah.
And and there's the whole drug aspect of it. There's the Russian Koreans, and absolutely watch it, but there's definitely some trigger warnings in it, so we just want to let you guys know that for sure.
And by the way, this is on iQIYI, which occasionally has a K-drama, so if you're looking for it, it's not on Viki or Cocoa or Netflix. Right. Yeah, it's on iQIYI. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I always forget. It's so funny because he was Sung Ji-ru is Lee Dong-wook's boss in this, and I'm like, I love him. Why can't I place him? Jennifer, he was the eunuch in Rookie Historian Go Hei-ron. That's why you love him. So yes. So yeah, it's a great cast. I'm really enjoying it. And can we just talk for a hot second for people who actually watch this weekend's episodes? Our K-drama kisses are getting much better, you guys. That kiss was hot. Hot.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I mean, it was well worth it. It wasn't one of those weird chaste kisses. No, she is on top. It was hot, right? People back me up that it was hot. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. Okay, let's see. Are there any? What are most of my notes? I took notes. I'm really excited. And our therapist was hot, right? Yeah. Thank you, Christabel.
There.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, was I the only one who thought that was hot? Like, yeah, that kid's right. Thank you, K926. That was popcorn worthy. I was just like, oh goodness. And then in the next episode, Kay's like, he's talking about, because Kay's completely in love with Haekyung. And he always is talking about her, but all of a sudden Lee Dong-wook's character like gets all flustered. He's like, why are you flustered? Are you aroused? And he's like, what happened? Did something happen? It's awesome.
Oh my god.
Yes. And the actor who played the therapist, he was what is his name? He was fantastic, and I loved him in Stranger too. And he actually looks kind of normal in this one, but you never know, because they're kind of playing that, is he or isn't he? But yes, he is, and then he gets stabbed. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, really, really, I literally, my notes about him as he was like being accused and then he wasn't accused, I was like, boo, but then he's a bad guy. Wait, no, he's not. Yes, he is. But then he got stabbed and now he's dead. No, he's not dead. Like, he was all over the board in this episode. So yeah, it was hilarious.
Oh my god. This drama sounds like it's jam-packed with like everything we love. So yeah.
It is. The K-drama soup is hearty. It is hearty. Hearty. All right. Because we still have to get to the big one. Let's move on. All right.
Yes.
We all know Bad and Crazy is super fun. Okay. Work later, drink now, Marisa. How was that?
Yes. All right. So again, this was a holiday binge, and it was I think I found it on demand Korea of all places.
Really?
And it's short. The episodes are a half hour, and it's like the Korean version of Sex and the City, but with soju instead of shoes. It's like there's so much. It's 3 women, and let me pull them up because they were so good. It's Lee Sun-bin, Han Sun-hwa, and Jung Eun-ji, who, you know, I haven't really seen since Reply 1997. So it was amazing to see her grown up and mature and just like really just, what's the word? Conflicted, traumatized, but this is a comedy. It's a comedy. So the way they handle it, but they go from, I mean, you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe how much these women drink, but it's amazing. And then it gets deeper and deeper into their friendship and how they are just there for each other. No judgment, no questions asked. They've been friends since college and they can always rely on each other. And then, you know, and then these real life things hit them, like cancer and, you know, teen suicide, like heavy topics, but things that we've seen multiple times in K-dramas. But it's handled so well. But yeah, Dr. G, so much drinking. It's unbelievable. But by the end of it, I was like, I love these women. I love their friendship. And it's like total, you know, squad goals. They're just,
I love those type. Okay. All right. Yeah. You've been saying that since last time. So yeah, I'll definitely put that on my list.
Yeah, sure. It's funny too. It's really freaking funny. And it's an adult show.
That show is treated very seriously. Nice.
Yeah, there's sex, there's swearing. It's not over the top. It's not an HBO show. It's, you know, there's no nudity, but you know, women have one night stands. It's like, you know, it's really good. Really good. And Siwon is in it too. But it's really not about the men. It's really about these 3 women. So yeah. Yes, Dr. Chi, it's a show for grown folks.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like grown folk shows a lot. All right. Me on it.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
I need a good one that will pick me up because, yeah.
And again, the episodes are shorter.
I think I'm having some internet problems. Can you guys see me?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Okay, great. Yeah. It was like stalling and everything was getting ugly. So yeah, I'll definitely put that on the list because I think I'm gonna need a later one coming up soon for sure. Oof.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Bulgasal. Is anyone else watching this one? Because I am loving it so freaking much. I am a sucker, and I will say this: I will let a reincarnation story get a lot of passes because I love that concept so much. But this one, that it's a found family with your old family, is amazing, and I love that so much. So yeah, I don't know how you guys feel. And listen, let's just talk about it. Jun as the most extra over the top villain I have ever seen is love it so much.
Yep.
Oh, I just freaking love it.
I do have some quibbles though. Like Kwan Nara's character is just, she's driving me a little nuts. It's like, you've been running your whole life. It's like there's sparks of her standing her ground, but and I haven't watched this weekend's episodes yet, but I need her to come into her own. Like I need her to like not be so scared and also so ignorant of what's happening. Like you've spent your entire life running and like not trying to figure out, not taking some, Taekwondo classes to protect your sister and yourself. It's like I'm just
she is freakishly fragile for the gauntlet that she's had to get through to get to this point of survival.
Yes, exactly.
But I actually am enjoying her in this because I felt like in these last 2 episodes she kind of did step into that a little bit more, and yeah, I felt like the last 2 episodes felt a little bit more that she stepped into that.
Want to be inspired. This is one of those shows that starts in a historic period and then I don't know, maybe if that's what wasn't doing it for you, and then it gets into the modern era, and so there's a little more variety in tone, I would say. Like it's not always dark with swords and blood and monsters.
Right. But that first episode was masterful. If you are into that at all, like the world building with the monsters and the whole Bulgasal setup and the whole it was so well done. And Kwan Nara in her red gown just appearing on the horizon, and it was just that first episode was breathtaking just from it was really scary. Like so I'm really digging it to where we're now at for sure.
We will get to the Silent Sea. We will get to the Silent Sea and we will get to the Red Sleeve. So don't worry.
Yeah, we're getting to those. We are. But just to kind of go back to our Jun character in this one, the Ugote, like is it wrong, you guys, that I'm kind of like rooting for him, for there to be an ultimate bad guy, that he's not the ultimate? Like I feel like I want him to have friends. I feel like he's just lonely, and this little like the black hole in his heart is metaphorical. And
well, of course it is.
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Like, it's not a black hole in his hand. It's like literally his heart.
Just kind of like was Min Sang-un when in one of her Bulgasal incarnations, did she break his heart? Is that what this is? Is there a way for all of them to just hang out in this weird house that this guy who's been around for 600 years has not even put in like a coat of paint on? That they can all live happily ever after in this found family of houses? I don't know. Am I the only one?
I don't know, but I love it. Feels like Avengers Assemble, like all of his past family is back. It's with him presently. It's just I love that. I love that so much.
I do. I love the fact that it's a found family with your old family. I'm just like, this is amazing.
Yeah. I'm not at the point where they've explained who the teenage young man is, but I saw a spoiler on Instagram, so I'm like, ooh, this is getting fascinating. So
they haven't explained who he is, but I'm pretty confident that he's the son. Right?
Well, that's what I was thinking, but there's something isn't he connected to Jun's character?
He is. Jun has basically been sponsoring him at the orphanage, so he was sent in to, facilitate all of this for Jun's character, right?
Okay.
And so, but he's, because it's his family, obviously, he's kind of falling in love with them. And so it's kind of adorable watching all that happen. So
good. So,
right?
Great. Because I do think he is the son. Yeah.
He's got to be, right? Why would you have him there if he's not the son? And the way that Min Xio treats him, the sister, who's the mom, who's the wife, it's confusing. The way she treats him, you can tell, like, it's very parental and very, like, sibling, but parental, the way she was with him when he was a small boy. And the teasers kind of kind of allude to the fact that next week we find out his identity. They talk about the son. Like, do you know who your son is? And that kind of thing. Calvin, the orphan boy did shock me. Like, yeah, exactly. Let's see. Jungjae, I'm subscribed. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Jungjae.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
I love it. Hey, welcome. I was really surprised, but I also was really surprised how happy Ijun's character was to see him and play games, and was like really bummed out when he left. And then when he went to, when the young boy called to be like, did you kidnap the detective? Like, that's a bad move. He was like, you called me. Hi. Why? I was like, oh, pumpkin. Like, I just want you to have friends.
Oh no.
And I'm sure that is not what they want for. I don't know. I'm hoping. I'm hoping there's another big bad out there that we can put all of this on. Oh my god, I love it. All right, you guys. Okay, cool. Speaking of Ijun, how'd you like that for a segue, Marisa?
Nice. That's what's up next.
That's what's up. Yeah. Oh,
Jungjae. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes, that is our goal, is to keep going. We love it. We love this content so much, and we just love talking about it with everybody. So thank you so much. Ijun in The Silent Sea. You guys, we did a podcast, so there's a lot of our thoughts are going to be coming out. That's going to be dropping, I think, in the next week or so. We just recorded it. But yeah. All right, Marisa.
Where do we start? The Silent Sea.
It's so hard.
Okay. So this came out when? Boxing Day? Christmas Day? I mean,
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. So I thought it was such a high bar that they set, and they hit it in so many ways. But I did have a lot of quibbles, and we go into that a lot in the podcast. And what's great about our podcast is you can take a coffee break whenever you want it.
Right?
It's there for you. But we totally want to know what you guys were thinking, because the expectations were so high. And I'm not even talking about like Western media expectations, comparing it to Squid Game, which for those of us who love K-dramas, that's such a misnomer. It's like, really? They shows have nothing to do with each other. Yeah. But sci-fi, first K-drama set in space, and the effects and the production design was amazing. It was like, like really, really well done. And you really just felt like, you were either going to run out of air or you were going to drown.
Oh my God. We mentioned this in the podcast, but I'm going to repeat myself. Marisa, when they crash landed on the moon, I had such an anxiety attack I was like, there's nowhere for you to go and you are out of air. Move, people. You got to get going. There's not just some rando house you can go hide in. This is the moon, people. They did a really, really good job of that suffocation, like drowning, which was it was the metaphor of the show, obviously. But yes, that one killed me. Everything inside was good except the plot.
Okay. All right. So superstars in it, right? Bae-doona, Gong Yoo, one of our favorite character actresses, Kim Sun-young. I love her so and then much. Ijun, obviously. And then, who was the director? Gil Hae-yeon, playing the equivalent of NASA, their director.
Right? Always the worst.
Yeah. Yes. Always the worst. So it seems like you guys are a little, I don't know. I think I feel the way a lot of you felt. Like, loved a lot of it, but the plot, I will. Okay, Caitlin, we spoke on the thing. I liked how they showed the Silent Sea and drowning. Yes. Yeah. Caitlin and I were talking in between the holidays, and she had a theory. And Caitlin, I'm stealing your theory and throwing it out there, but I'm giving you credit on it, that I didn't even think of, you guys, for the ending. So we're jumping to the ending, and spoiler alert, the ending. Just all it is. Caitlin thought that our young girl, our clone, which they're calling Luna, she went in and saved Gong Yoo. And that's how he got to the surface of the moon. I thought he got blasted out when it exploded through the door. And I kind of wanted him to be frozen like this, but that was not the case. But he made it all the way out. That didn't even cross my mind. Where did you guys land on that? Yeah, that was a tricky one, because all of a sudden Luna's like romping through like the surface of the moon, and we're like, oh, which brings up a whole host of questions. And this is where I think, and we talk about this in the podcast, which is coming up soon, but this is where the plot didn't deliver. It's like they spent a lot of time chasing around looking for Ijun's character, but you've introduced clones and you've introduced like a little more explanation here would be not really just clones, intriguing.
But like carbon copy 3D printing clones in a room full of them. That was amazing.
Yeah. So possibly Dr. Chi, but man, this show, you can imagine how expensive this was. It's like, and yes, maybe should have been a 2-hour movie. So Caitlin's theory brings up all of these big plot points that just weren't answered. And I could have used less of like the jumping around the space station and just more explanation, like more of that drama.
I think that's what I needed. I needed more explanation as to what was occurring, because like how did they go on this mission and we didn't actually get, like, no one seemed to have all the information. Let's see. Some of the dialogue made me chuckle. They all seemed to shock. Like they're all like, what? Oh my god. And I was like, I feel like
Ahmed.
Someone on this team should have all the data, right?
So unprepared, going up into an abandoned space station. Like they get up there and then they decide how they're going to look for it with the different teams. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, we love Gong Yu, but really his captain skills were a little lacking. Like not the leader you needed for a 24-hour jaunt to the moon. It was like
the fact that Ijun survived to die from the water poison and not shot in the head after mutiny basically tells me that that's exactly, you're actually correct, Marisa. Not the strongest captain in the world. Like, I don't understand.
I don't understand.
And then because he doesn't shoot Ijun in the head, and instantly to get him out of the way so we can exit stage left, his other guy dies. And I'm like, dude, how many people on your team have to die? Like, come on. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's the thing. Like looking back on it now, it's like I still have so many questions.
You worked at NASA? Oh my god, you must have been you must have been like screaming at the television. I was, and I've never even been on a NASA tour. Like a visit.
Oh my god, I know. It's like we have friends who are doctors who can't watch medical dramas. So I'm sure if you work for NASA or JPL, you must be like, oh my goodness, what is happening here?
I'd just be like, God. It must be like every time I see someone like use the word casted when they talk about a movie, I'm just like, it's not casted, people. It's cast. It is. Yeah. It is. It's one of those weird English words. Just cast.
Cast is the past tense of cast.
That's it.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And yes, Caitlin actually did say someone did go and he got killed. He was our scientist who died first out of the gate. Shouldn't there be a backup plan though, Caitlin? I feel like if you are going to the moon, you're not just going to like, one country over. You're going to the moon. That's just my thought.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But but at the end of the day, I enjoyed it. I did not enjoy it. I just, was like, what? Like, I kind of need more now. Like, I need a season 2 just to kind of fill in some spaces.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes. Many questions that could be answered with a season 2, and we would be all in. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Oh, all in. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Yeah. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for this discussion? I'm not sure I'm ready for this discussion, Marisa. This is a big one. Oh, so now, actually, it was a good watch.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. G, it was a good watch. Absolutely.
I'd still recommend it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I honestly didn't realize it was only a 24-hour mission. It felt like it was a 2-week mission. That was just me, though.
Because it just doesn't make sense that you would go up to the moon for 24 hours. This is not like driving to like San Diego or something for the day.
I felt like the ride there. Can we also talk about the fact that was the largest? I mean, I get that it's kind of in the future-ish, but that was the largest space shuttle I've ever seen. When they always show the inside of the cabins, it's always like they're all squished together and like, this one was like spacious. You could have had like beverage service through the middle.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, nice.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So I think it is time. We got. Let's do it. Woo!
All
All
right.
right.
Moving
Who's ready?
on.
We're ready to do it. The red sleeve, y'all. The red sleeve. Marisa?
Okay. Yes, Jen.
I had a really hard time. I was I don't know if you guys know this, but I almost every episode up until we took a break, I was literally on Wikipedia trying to track where we were historically within our story. So I kind of knew how it was going to end, right?
Kayla, you dropped it. Oh my god.
I thought it was magnificently created and produced.
Oh yeah.
The story itself, I don't know how I feel. I'm very conflicted, Marisa.
I would say I'm of more than two minds on this because it also it feels like multiple shows, like multiple. Yes. I mean, I have to. It's a big recommend though. I just Ijun and Lee Se-young in particular. I know not Ijun, Junho. I know Junho is getting so like his Q rating. Do they still have those? His Q rating skyrocketed.
So, yeah.
But Lee Se-young is she's perfection in this.
Perfection.
Right.
We loved her before this one. She went from being one of my standard bearers, like if she's in it, I'm going to watch it for sure, to if she even looks at it, I'm going to be probably on top of it because she's like reaching Bayduna levels of love for me. That's how much I loved her in this.
Yeah. So her trajectory is the story that had to be told to get her to the end, because this is based on real people and we know how this ends. And it's also the respect that the show has for these real people who lived and for women trapped in the palace in every position as servants, as head servants, as head court ladies, as queens and princesses. They are all trapped. And yes, the desire for your own agency, the desire to still hold some decisions that are yours is just beautifully told from beginning to end. And you know what? They could have ended it in a very different place, but they didn't. And that's the kind of thing I want to explore. It's like, okay, as you guys know, we talk about the whole show and this show's done. So that means if you haven't watched episode 17, then I don't know, come back later.
Come back later. Yes.
Yeah. Because is it, I don't know if it's Han, which is a Korean concept that I only kind of just peripherally understand. I know it's very hard to explain. Or is it just mad respect for the women that lived in the palace and this is how life ends for them? It's, you know, I don't know. I thought it was beautiful though.
I thought it was beautiful. Yes, ending everything you just said. Like the amount of agency. Yes, what did she say? Juno's sexy.
Totally sexy.
I think, unfortunately, I think that's what made that show so difficult for me. Because on one hand, you have Juno and Lee Se-young, right? They're gorgeous. They have amazing chemistry. They have that's popping off the screen. So you want them to be together. On the other side of it, I was yelling, girl, run for like the last half of the show. Anytime she got that chance to escape, I wanted her to take it. Because there was I could not get on board with the relationship because I didn't feel like she ever got to make a choice to take the relationship. It wasn't like she ever willfully made the choice to be with him. And I personally had a hard time with him being the romantic lead, but we always had to show him as the king, and then he would pop in with these, like, she would like threaten her with either her life or her reputation or her demise. And And I understand what was happening. I do. I understand all of the context that goes into that, and that she did actually make that choice, but only because he hauled her into his bedchamber and was like, this is your choice. Like, I was like, I had a difficult time rooting for this couple. And then to have the ending, and I get it, she was in love with him and she did love him, but she also very clearly stated over and over and over and over and over and over again, this is not the life I want.
But isn't that the point?
Yeah,
She could never have the life she wanted. That, that it's a very, very desirable job to be in the palace, and that you cannot say no to the king. You cannot.
You cannot. No, exactly.
No.
And I think that is where...
Right. Joseon gender norms. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, and I appreciate they brought a lot of that back and they commented on it. I feel like, and I think I've used this, I think you and I have talked about this before. I felt like the Queen of 7 Days. Do you guys remember that one?
Yes, with Park Min-young.
I felt like that one played, I was more invested in like that love story more, even though they didn't end up together. Because
Ahmed, thank you so much.
Really
so generous. Yes. Thank you.
And so I felt like that one worked better for me on that level. Like the ending of them being in eternity together, I'm like, that is her personal hell. Like she literally said to him as she was dying, if you see me in our next life, walk on by, buddy. Walk on by. And then
okay. So here's the thing. They added in episode 17, right?
Yes.
And so Jen and I were talking before we went live. Those episodes were very long. And it to me felt like Junho fan service. Junho sad fan service, right? We'll cry with him. But it's just that, when you add so much in with Junho, and yet Lee Se-young's character, Do-kim, has her demise, you've diluted the story that you were telling. And then this idea of a happy eternity from his point of view, it's like, again, it's like, okay, give us more Junho and give us a happy ending, but it's not a happy ending.
It's not.
And it's like, it didn't resonate the way 7 Days Queen did in terms of that. So I really wish they had stuck to 16 episodes on this one. I think it would have been tighter, and I'm not sure we would have had the same ending. Like, I'm really wondering if that got changed as well.
And I agree with you on that, like 100%. Like, I feel like they would have ended it at the end of 16. I would have been more, that was really satisfying because she did make a choice. She knew what her options were, and she made the best choice for her at the time, right? And then she found the happiness, as her friend said, you can find happiness within these choices, right? And so I felt like at the end of 16, we had reached that point where she was like, listen, this isn't the life I wanted. This isn't the life that I chose, but I am finding happiness within it. And that was a satisfying ending for me. And then they could have just done a title card and been like, blah, 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 considered the greatest king of this era. And then, like, I would have been fine with that, right? Because you can go to Wikipedia and read 90% of this. But the fact that they gave us an hour and 40 minutes of watching everything that they'd spent 16 episodes building up to devolve, for him to then say he forgot her for a decade, only to then... And I was really, really frustrated with the way it ended.
Did he actually, is that a translation thing? Did he forget her, or did he do what men do and compartmentalize and put her aside in his brain? I'm like,
well, they mentioned it numerous times, even when the friend / head court maid showed up in his chambers because he wanted to talk about her or see her belongings. She's like, he said something, and she said, oh, I thought you had said you'd forgotten her. All right, I'll bring you her things.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, again, if it was just again, that's probably what it was. I'm sure he never did get over her, but I don't know. 17 just was not satisfying for me. It was an hour and 40 minutes, and it was just a rough one for me.
I think the emotional investment was so great that, and we knew, like Jen had been feeding me Wikipedia, nuggets of historical facts. So it's like, this is not going to end well. And I know for a lot of you guys, that is a like no-go zone. Like if it doesn't end well, then you're not going to watch it. I totally get that. It's a sad ending.
It's a sad. And one other thing that this is something that I think I would like to dive more into, but just to throw it out there, I think as much time that we spent into the norms of women and where they fall and why Dokim did not want to become his concubine, I thought they were all very valid reasons. What I felt the show failed to do is let us know that from the time we met them as young adults, when she was sitting writing in her library and he was, she didn't know he was the crown prince. He had a queen. He'd already had a queen from that time on. He ended up married and had a queen since he was like 10 or 12, if I remember the history correctly. And I feel like that was part of why she knew that she could never, you know what I'm saying? That one moment at the end when he finds out that Dokim's pregnant and he makes that side pivot to go see the queen. I feel like that's the first time we actually realized that he actually had a queen. I think they mentioned it as a one-off comment earlier, but I felt like we could have leaned into that more to understand what was happening between them more.
Yeah, it's interesting as Westerners watching this because I don't know. I mean, friends like DDuck8926, please comment because we love your insight. It means so much to get this other layer of understanding. So I don't know, like if you're talking, like if we were to watch, because our history that we're taught here is so Eurocentric, we know a whole lot about Henry VIII. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff we don't have to explain that we just know. So I don't know if for the Korean viewer, they already knew that, like if that was already an assumption, you know what I mean? Because as a Western viewer, yes, you're right. They didn't mention the queen until, Dokim was already pregnant or had a baby. So, yeah.
What was that? It was his guilt for choosing nation over love until the end when he decided to die for her. Okay. I mean, sure. I mean, I guess that's what I'm saying. I understand all the emotional beats. It just, that episode 17 did not land for me the way, 16 did. 16 landed, and I was like, I'm good. But
man, this show though, it was like, if you go back and watch our K3 awards from 2021, it was the most popular show because it just grabbed us by the heart. And
it was a juggernaut. And I, again, applaud. It was directed by a woman. So, I mean, I think there's something to be said about women's issues and how that is translated and how it translated with a woman director. And I think that that's amazing, right?
I have to say,
because it was tough. God.
A couple of these Saguks, also The Crown Clown was directed by a woman, and this one was directed by Jung Ji-in. And they, the women's point of view as a director that they bring to it when they're helming a drama like this, we just love. Like whatever our quibbles are, like overall, there's something added that just speaks to us. So yeah, need more of that.
The eternity scene was in the novel. Okay.
The novel, right? Based on a book. Right. Thank you. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
totally forgot about that. Thank you, Tashva, for that reminder. Yeah.
I mean, listen, did I enjoy it? Hell yeah. Do I feel like we could have did we need that 17th episode? I feel like there's an argument to be made that no, we did not.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about all of the women that were in this show.
Oh my God. Oh, can I just, I know a lot of people said they just wept through 17. Can I just say the power of Jung Hae-jin? The only time I even remotely came close to breaking was when she was crying, talking to the guard when they were talking about choosing the next concubine and how happy she was that he chose someone that was nothing like Dokim. And I was like, oh God, she's so good. Like that was my one moment. So speaking of strong one, I just had to jump on that because I'm like, that's my one note.
Absolutely. So you've got 3 friends again, or 4 friends. The strength of their friendships, that they had each other's back as they deal with like the just the daily hardships of working in the palace. And then you've got the head court lady. So Jung Hae-jin, who you mentioned, is Court Lady So, who is just, the substitute mother that you need in this, nest of vipers that life is in the palace, no matter how you get around it. That is, you got to watch your back at all times there. So
rough.
But then head court lady Joe, this whole fairy palace storyline was fascinating. The secret society.
And what I thought was even more fascinating, how quickly it went away.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. But was it D-89286? Were you the one that recommended a couple of other films? One with Hyun Bin, where he played the same king as Junho's character. That kind of helps give context to this particular king, and what the palace was like at the time. It's like, I don't know why this is a Hyun Bin film that I have not watched.
Oh my God, I actually watched that. I have watched that, you guys. Are you proud of me? Yeah. It's enjoyable. But again, I think I need to go back and watch it again with a little bit more historical context under my belt. I think I watched it on my first Hyun Bin run of fandom. So yeah.
Right.
Not rampant.
Not rampant. No zombies. But a mad, angry sorority, right, Dr. Chi? Yeah, the whole oh my God. It was, the torches.
Oh my God. Dr. Chi, I think thank you. This took hours of therapy off my plate. That is why that whole thing made me so stressed out. Don't judge me. I was in a sorority and it was awful and it was terrible. And it causes me a tremendous amount of anxiety. And that's probably exactly why. That's why this whole show is just like, oh my God, make it stop. Just stop.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Dr. Chi. I'm going to now cancel my therapist appointment.
Oh my God. That's totally what it was. Yeah.
Totally what it was. Oh. Okay. All right, moving
on. And then we also had the princesses, the queen, what was her title? Queen Dowager?
She was Queen Dowager, yeah.
Queen
That
Dowager.
was Jang Hae-jin, who was our sister over in Flower of Evil, who we love. So, yeah.
Yes, who we love. Yeah. Holy cow. Again, just the political smarts, the political acumen that these women have to have was, you could see it. If you're emotional, like Princess, what was her name? The Sado's sister.
Oh, right. Yes.
Which princess was she?
Which one was she? Nope.
There's just, where is she?
Here she is, Princess Hua Wan.
Yeah, man. If you're all emotion, guess what? You're not going to get what you need. That ice cold manipulation that the Queen Dowager had. That's how you survive. Oh my God, she was so good.
I mean, that I think is I think that's the thing I love about this show, and I think maybe again going back to 17 being an Lee Joon-ho fan service kind of a thing. The title of the film and the title of the drama and the title of the book is Red Sleeve Cuff. It's about her. It's about her being owned by the king. And so to spend an hour and 40 minutes, I felt of not really about her, but about that. I think maybe that's where the disconnect for me was, because this is ultimately about the women who are marked by that red sleeve cuff in Chosun era, and I felt like they did an excellent job of showing where that manifests, how it manifests. There are the court ladies, so characters who that's just their life, and they just quietly want to go quietly about it until it's over, and that's a very good life, and they move on. They have the head court lady, who basically is like, fairy castle, I will destroy thing. Clearly not happy with being not chosen by the king. You know, and I loved how you saw how each of them manifested what this meant to them. The one friend who found a man she loved and had a bitch and got pregnant. She was like, I wanted to live. I just thought there was so much richness to learning about that way of living that it was a magnificent portrayal of that.
But also that these decisions of owning yourself, owning your decisions, having agency could literally cost you your life, and that they knew that, and they did explore that. But yes, it would have been so amazing if that's what we came back to at the end of the show instead of what we got. So I'm wondering, Dr. Chi, you mentioned the novel. Jen just mentioned the novel. Is it translated into English? Because it is fascinating. I do wonder if it's available for us. So if anyone knows, comment below. Let us know.
And 92, I can't even read anymore. 8926. I agree with you. I think we need to see the impact of her dying, having it. I feel like they could have truncated 16 and 17 together to maybe give us an hour, maybe an hour and a half, hour and 40 tight,
Yeah.
But I agree. We did need to see how completely devastated he was.
Yeah,
after her passing,
that's right.
For sure.
So you guys, we have so many thoughts. We are going to have a podcast on the Red Sleeve of Jen and I diving even deeper into this show. Speaking of an hour and 40 minutes, it could be long. It could be long. Because clearly we have a lot of thoughts. So look for that podcast. You'll be able to take it with you wherever you go. It'll be on our podcasts are on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Because we wanted to do more for you this year. The novel is not translated. I'm curious. Yes.
8926. How is he so different? Like,
wow.
I'm curious. Was he not as swoon worthy, or was he more interesting? I'm really fascinated by that now. Now I need to know more, because that is, I almost feel like having someone as dynamic as Juno as that, maybe it was almost a disservice to the story itself, because I think it played out a little bit different.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Interesting. So there's clearly more thoughts. Let us know. We would love to hear them all.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Yeah. My God, how fun was that? Thank you so much for everything, Marisa. It was so good to see you.
Yeah.
So good to see everyone.
Merry,
what am I saying? Merry what?
Yes.
No. Well, Merry New Year. There it is. Merry New Year.
Yes. And you guys, for all of you who contributed here, thank you so much. We also have launched memberships. So if you go to Ko-fi.com/the K3, that's ko-fi.com/the K3. Actually, we should put it in the chat. And it's also in the comments. We have monthly memberships. There are perks, and that's a great way to support us, to support this content that we create for you guys every week. And we hope you check those out and can join us. Be our K-drama BFF. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes, and let's continue.
Top three.
Right,
to say
top three.
Yes. We talked about this because so many of these are binges, and we watched it. We haven't been here for, I don't know, about a month. We couldn't wrap our heads around top three. But if you wanted to share, please do. But when we were back in 2 weeks, we will definitely have our favorite moments of that.
All right. So yeah, what were your guys' favorite moments in the last month?
Yeah.
Marisa, do you have any that jump out to you? I'm not yet, Gina, but I've heard good things about it. Someone said it was kind of like Pegasus Market, so I was like, I'm interested in that for sure.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so glad you enjoyed that, Griselle. Thank you. Yes. So much fun.
Yeah. Good.
I would say, Marisa, one of my favorite moments. That
is not correct. Is that not Ko-fi.
I can't even do it right myself. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm also probably need my glasses. So what is one of your favorites while I type this?
Oh my God, that is so hard. Of all these shows we watched, oh God. I would say something from the Red Sleeve. The favorite moments. Oh, the calligraphy. When she has to keep rewriting it and he keeps striking it out with red. Right. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Anne, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I love that moment. Like their earlier moments were really lovely together. I like those a lot. I feel bad saying this, but one of my favorite moments from Red Sleeve was the scene where he finally confronts who's his left minister. And that it was almost like watching theater when he finally is like, you've never been loyal to me, and he's going to have him killed. And the guard begs for his life because he knows the king would want. It was an all dude scene, and I feel horrible saying that was one of my favorites. But I remember just watching it and being like, this is an amazing piece of acting happening right here.
But I think that could, maybe that's in the book, but I think that could, I mean, that's a moment of high emotional intelligence where the guard is giving the king a way out.
Yes.
And so I suspect maybe that came from our women writers. So
possible,
I don't know.
But it was such it was just an amazing scene, and it went on for minutes. Like it wasn't like one of those quick 1 and 2. It was like, yes, Kang Hoon. When he was like, he wouldn't beg for his life, and then the guard does, and it was just so freaking amazing. And then of course when Jung Hae-jin was like talking about the next concubine choice, and it was just she was so even, I thought, through most of the show. She had peaks and valleys and whatnot, but that scene was just like, as talking to the guard, like, he's just a fucking idiot, man. Like, how can you be happy about this? Like, look at me. I'm, distraught. Your friend is distraught. Like, that was such a beautiful scene. Yeah.
The king gave me a pit in my stomach. It's like, clearly he was Sato's father. Something was running through that family in terms of mental distress. So he made me nervous the whole time. Favorite Singles Inferno when Yeon and the new boy had their chat. Yeah. Right? I know he was, because if he had just taken a moment to actually, you guys, there was this dating show that came out. I think they only did 1 episode. It came out a long time ago, but I'm old and I remember it. And they had the guy, they're like, you get to go on 2 dates. You get to go on a date with a woman of your choosing, and you get to go on a date. This is all before Tinder and Bumble, before people really understood an algorithm at play. And scientists will choose your second date. And Singles Inferno is just like that, where it's like these men keep choosing their ideal and not looking at the woman who is probably the perfect partner because they have so much in common and they get along really well and they have the same interests and they would enjoy doing the same things together. Instead, they just keep going towards this woman who they think is the most beautiful. And it's like, buddy, she doesn't like you because you have nothing in common. Right. And I was just like, yeah.
That's amazing. Duke 8926, yes. That scene at the end, that was the end of 16, right?
When he gave her the royal title.
Yes. That scene, that one, and the scene when she was sick because she didn't want to tell him she was pregnant yet, and they just were in bed together. Like, that was such an intimate moment. Like, I thought that was also there's just so much beautiful things that happened in episode 16. I could have been I would have been so happy with that.
Oh, yes.
Let's see who else. Gino was also pissed. I assume he was chatting. Oh, right. There's okay. There's that. Yeah. Oh, you guys.
Yeah. There was a lot of things that I got pissed off about that show, but that's what I loved about it. Totally throwing stuff at my television. It was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh my God. So much goodness. And the Red Sleeve, you guys, if you haven't watched it, pace yourself, because there's a lot that happens and it's kind of emotional, but so worth worth it to watch it. It was beautiful. It was so well done.
Yeah.
And all right, you guys. So excited.
Yes.
We will see you. We will have a podcast that's going to drop next Sunday. And then we will see you live in 2 weeks. And until then, we are the K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Marisa, and you are part of the K3. Thank you so much for joining us. We missed you guys. We love seeing you here again, and we'll see you next time.
Now I'll say bye. Bye.
Bye.